Today you're going to learn how to sew the running stitch and the whip stitch. This is just one example of what you can do with the two stitches. The running stitch looks like this. The whip stitch has to be on the side or the edge. So you're going to get a piece of foam and a blunt needle, and you're going to put the yarn or floss and tie a knot to keep it close or on the needle. And you always start at the back of your piece and hold that little tail with your finger. I'm holding it, and then the whip stitch, you keep starting from behind. And be aware of your fingers, of where they are. Try not to poke your fingers. Once you get started, then you can let go of the tail. The whip stitch can go all the way around the edge of something. Now to tie it off at the end, you're going to slide under the last stitch. And you should get a little loop. I'm going to try to find that loop. So keep pulling until you see that little loop. It's there. It's hard to see. But you put the needle back through the loop and pull. That's one knot. You do need to do a double knot, so do the exact same thing. Look for that little loop and put your needle in it and pull. And this will make a double knot to end it. You can do the same thing in the beginning as you're starting as well. Okay, now for the running stitch. The running stitch is cool because you can actually draw while you're stitching. So you can go straight, of course, but you can also bend it any way you want to create a picture. So you start from the back, just like before, and this time you're gonna poke through the front. Whoops. Sometimes the knot slips out, so you do need to be aware. I'm gonna try to squeeze the knot with my fingers so I don't lose it. You go back through the front. So see how that one's curved? You can draw with the running stitch. So I'm gonna poke it in and then push it back down through the front and keep going. You can kind of tell where you're poking it through. There's a little bend in the foam. And again, end it in the back and tie your knot in the back. So I'm going to flip it over, go to the last stitch, needle through. Tie my knot again. See that? This one's a lot easier to see. Go through the loop. That's one knot. Do it again for a double knot. Again, if you want to really hold your yarn in place or your stitches in place, you can do the same thing from the first knot as well. So this is the running stitch and the whip stitch. Have fun practicing!